Did you know that you could buy land today in Kahala for cheaper than you could a dozen years ago? This is David Buck with Harcourts Island Real Estate, and today we're going to talk about land for sale in Kahala and why it's a discount compared to historic levels. First off, we're going to start off with this house behind me. This is 4823 Kahala Avenue. This sold this past month for a record sale, not only on Oahu, but in Hawaii for $65,750,000, which surpassed the previous record at $42 million at the Kaiser Estate, which is directly behind me out there in Portlock. So that's a new record sale here on Oahu, but not many people know, and what didn't make the press headlines was that this property behind me sold in 2013 for $22 million and change. And that was roughly $338 a square foot. So to put that in perspective, everything that we're going to look at today, with the exception of one lot, is going to be less than that. So that sale of this lot, it was a 66,000 square foot lot, previously owned by Gensiro Kawamoto, who's a Japanese billionaire I've talked about in the past. At the time, he was driving around in a limousine just like this one, going up to people all over the island and offering cash for their homes. He paid $12 million for this lot, and it made a lot of the news here in Hawaii because what happened was he went ahead and got he tore the old Hemeter Estate down without a building permit, and it was big news all over the news here. And at the end of the day, can you guess what his fine was? It was $50. So, you know, like, I guess he had some attorney consulting him, and he just went for it without getting a building permit to demo the old Hemeter Estate, and he paid a $50 fine. With that said, he paid $12 million. The previous owner, just prior to that, he bought it like in May of 2005, was a hui of some local investors that included Jerry Lynch, who's a well-known local investor and developer. He paid $9 million out of bankruptcy for the old Hemeter Estate, and then flipped it to Kawamoto for $12 million. So, and then basically the Estates of Kahala, which was an LLC by Alexander and Baldwin that bought the entire Kawamoto portfolio, included this lot behind me. So some of the other lots we're gonna look at today were part of that initial portfolio, but what I want to get at is the pricing. So once again, $338 a square foot for this lot behind me. 22 million sale back in 2013. Our office at the time, my previous brokerage, we were involved in this and a number of other sales here along Kahala Avenue. And then what we're going to get into, so once again, back then, $22 million, and then they built a home, 11,000 square foot home, and sold it for $65 million. Now, just doing the raw math, I don't think it took them $40 million to build a house. So there is a generous cushion and profit there. So let's get into the rest of the land for sale here in Kahala. Okay, the first lot we're going to cover today is the lowest priced home on the market. This is going to be on the mauka-side of Kahala Avenue. And this is 4744 Kahala Avenue. This one is a 20,000 square foot lot, and it's been on the market since December. Originally started at $5.2 million, and now they're priced at $4,880,000. And to put things in perspective, the current price per square foot is $243 a square foot. So we talked about that sale earlier. Back in 2013, that was $388. So this is a discount. Now, keep in mind, this is on the mauka-side of Kahala Avenue, but once again, 12 years later. So stay tuned, and we're going to cover a few more lots here. Okay, the next lot we're going to talk about is 4775 Kahala Avenue. It's directly behind me here. The home behind it is actually for sale right now for $4.7 million. This one is sitting on just under 28,000 square feet, and it's priced at $7.2 million. It hit the market earlier this month, and there's a unique opportunity here because directly behind me, we're going to talk about this next lot here in a second. But you can have like a family compound because you've got one across the street on the ocean, and then you've got this one on the mauka-side. So this one here is priced at $257 a square foot, which is still a discount to that $388 we talked about that sold back in 2013. Now, with that said, you might say, well, this is on the mauka-side of the road. But yeah, with that said, you're going to see behind me is even a better deal because it's going to be on the ocean for the same amount of money. Okay, next up we have 4767 Kahala Avenue. Like I said, it's right across the driveway here from the one that we covered earlier. And this one's direct oceanfront. here on Kahala Avenue. It hit the market the same day, early March of 2025. And this one here is just over just over an acre, and it's a 45,000 square foot lot. And this one, my bad earlier about the 257. This one is actually a premium. There's a bonus lot we're going to talk about at the very end here. So this one is actually priced at $437 a square foot. It's the most expensive strip of land, you know, on Kahala Avenue. So $437, you know, arguably you could say, well, that one that we started at, you know, $388 a square foot, and that was a dozen years ago. So, you know, there is inflation obviously for oceanfront land. But with that said, there is that unique opportunity in that you could get this family compound having, you know, just over an acre on the water, plus right across the driveway, you could have like your guest quarters. And this one is going to be the most expensive one listed for sale right now. It's $19.8 million. And this, like I said, came on in March of this year and is available for $19.8 million, which is still a fraction of what, you know, that big estate sold for down the street. And stay tuned for the final one, and you might get a little bit of deja vu once you see this final deal that I think is the best deal for vacant land here in Kahala. Okay, deja vu, we're back at 4607 Kahala Avenue. And if this looks familiar, I did a video on this 5 months ago, back in October of 24. And in my opinion, this is still by far the best deal in Kahala for vacant land. Directly behind me, you have 1.3 acres on the ocean, priced at $257 a square foot. And to put things in perspective, directly behind me is the Hunakai beach access. And so you've got this beautiful white sandy beach behind you, barrier reef out front, and then Black Point out towards the west there. So once again, 4607 Kahala Avenue, $257 a square foot. That puts it at $15 million, and that's a huge discount for what this previously sold at in the past. So if you want to find out more on that, watch my previous video on this, which I'll put in the links below. And then if you have any questions about vacant land in Kahala or homes for sale in Kahala, feel free to reach out and give me a shout at 808-371-3509. Mahalo.